Boo! Hey up troops, it's A Littleton here again with another video. I'm 34 years old and I've just pretended to hide behind a Kiba barrier. What a world we live in. This time we're looking at Kiba barrier setups, Azami setups on various maps. There's a reason Azami gets banned in so many Pro League T1 level games because she's so strong. You know what she does, bulletproof shields that she throws through knives wherever she wants to in the map. Insanely powerful, creating new lines of sight, one-way angles, bulletproof shields. She's absolutely class. So in this video, we're going to go over a handful of maps where Azami's useful, the setups that I use and where I think she's good to use and where she's strong. And if it's any good and you like it, we'll do some more maps as well. It's enough waffling, not much more to say. Let's get stuck into it. First things first, shoot the speakers. Also, whilst you're in here, you see this noise? Shoot the clock as well. Now, weirdly, I have to shoot both of those out before anything happens. Anyway, we're here on Cafe. It's everyone's new favorite Azami site. I didn't mean to go on cams. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. So, I'm going to show you a couple of things. Firstly, a nightmare if you want to play in Freezer around here and here. However, you can prevent that. If you throw an Azami barrier, Kiba barrier, we're going to call it an Azami barrier, whatever, on this area here, pretty much where that bullet hole is, this is going to prevent them from getting a line of sight down into Freezer. That goes there. You can now stand here. You can only just be seen from here. Obviously, don't walk out into the doorway. But it means you can play around here now and defend into shop on the new hatch. You don't have to worry about that guy that just lingers on the roof all around waiting for you. And you can do the same this side as well. About there. Same thing again this side. You can play around here. Now, obviously, look, if someone's holding this kind of angle here, by the time you step out to here, you're going to get smoke from the skylights. So just bear that in mind. But it means you can just play around here with a bit more freedom. You don't have to worry about the skylight too much. That's option number one. Option number two, which is where most people play Azami, is over here in Piano. And we'll go through that now. I just need to reset because I haven't got enough barriers. Okay, we're back in Piano, fully recharged with barriers, and I have to admit, I've seen this on Atheno's channel, so a big shout out to Atheno for this one. But this is absolutely excellent. So you put your first one on the side of this cabinet here. Your second one goes on the edge of the existing barrier. This now creates a one-way angle where you can go prone and hold feet and legs. And when you drop red and look this way, if you drop red hatch and you walk out here, you can't see anything, but you're getting your legs shot out. And if you drop new hatch and peek from here, you can just see this angle here. So if you're over here somewhere near stage, new hatch can't see you unless they go prone, obviously. You can also hold anyone coming out of red. The obvious thing is, well, what about these three windows? Well, we'll take care of those now. So the first one you want to do goes on the edge of this bar. This is a fairly common barrier. That protects you from this window here and also the breach if it gets open. Your second one wants to go in front of this window. Oh, don't do what I just did. I do that all the time. You want to put it high up on the edge. There you go. We just learned something there as well. Don't throw it here because there's like a lip underneath. If you can just see that there. The lip underneath stops it from going up. So if you throw it on this area of the stage, it won't go up. Make sure you throw it on the goal bar at the top. So we would have a spare Kiba barrier, and I would tell you that you can use your spare one to throw it wherever if you need to, but we haven't got a spare one anymore. Let's pretend we have. But from here now, you're covered from this window. You're covered from this window. You can fight from both windows. At the same time, you're covered from getting shot from here. Obviously, you've got to worry about the breach, but top red doesn't have to be worried about either or new hatch, because you can see from here. You just got to be careful not to overextend past this window. The other thing you can do, and I'm not going to reset and show you this because this one's the obvious one, but a lot of people will do the Kiba barrier on here to protect this window, and then a Kiba barrier on the top of here, and then they'll play Pixel, and they'll do like a Kiba barrier coming off the side here, or off here, and play a shield here. A bit like the classic way that we used to play a shield when I was at a shield, and a lot of people sort of play smoke here with a couple of ADSs. The more traditional way of playing Pixel, you can do that with Azami as well, but I like getting active around Piano. I think people give this up a little bit too often. People tend to just play Pixel here behind a shield and just give the rest of Piano up. But for me, I like making it a little bit more difficult. It's tough at times because you've got 4 angles, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all this 4 is soft as well, so you could get naded from below. But if you keep active and keep on the move, I think it's a better way of defending it than just staying in Pixel. And this is unreal, by the way. The amount of kills you'll get when people walk out of red here just by spraying toes is unreal. Thanks, Athena. Shoot the radio, lads. Right then, this one's for Oregon Top 4. Big shout out to Callum here. I was playing in a ranked game the other day, and I saw Callum using this, and he had the kindness of heart to send me a video of how he did it, and I thought I've got to include it in this video because it's so good. So your first Kiba barrier wants to go sort of a little bit in and a little bit up from the bottom of this cabinet here, about there. That's your best description. A little bit in and a little bit up. Your next one is going on the top of this door right here. And what this does is gives you a mad one-way angle, right? So you see this gap here? That's a massive one-way angle. Now, what you've got to be careful of is the breach. If this breach is open, you can't do this. However, this Kiba barrier, even when this breach is open, this Kiba barrier is still useful because you can take cover here and you can still shoot into trophy once this Kiba barrier is gone. They can't come through there, or they can crouch through, obviously, but no one's going to crouch through in the right mind. So once this is gone, this still serves a purpose, even if this breach is open. So don't think, oh, that breach is open, I have no point in using this anymore. This is still good. So the reason for this is you stand in this doorway here and you see this one-way angle. What the attacker's going to do is they're going to come into trophy. They're going to come and try and start punching this from here like this. And the whole time, you've got that angle from there. So the whole time they try and punch, you can get a shot off on them here. Now remember the angle? They can't see a thing. See how you could see their entire midsection here? They can't see a thing as they come and try to punch this barrier away. So use that one-way angle. I mean, it's strong. It works. I've seen it work in ranked. I saw Callum do it. Get that shot off. Obviously, once this is open, you can't stand in the doorway anymore. You've got to come back a little bit. But you can, let's just say this gets destroyed. You can still then use this on a headshot angle from here. Just bear in mind, obviously, it's not a one-way angle anymore. They can also use it on a headshot angle to you as well. But really, really useful Kiba barrier for top 4 Oregon there. We're on to Theme Park Throne now, and this is one of my favourite places to play Azami. First things first, once you've reinforced the maintenance and barrels wall, you want to open a hole at the top. And the same this side. Now, I know what you're thinking. What are you doing, Andy? Because they can just nade through that hole. Yes, I know. You're going to need an ADS on both sides on the floor just to catch any nades. Even if they do nade, you're not going to be stood on the wall like this anyway. So you don't have to worry too much. You're going to be playing around the back of Throne. Quick point about playing around the back of Throne. I've died multiple times to people putting a claymore on this drone hole because you end up walking past here. The lasers don't hit you here. If you walk past here when you're not concentrating, you die to it. And also grenades coming through this drone hole. I've died a couple of times to that, so just be wary of the drone hole. Don't stand too close to it. So why are we playing Azami here? We aren't using any barriers in the setup apart from one. The first one that I do goes behind the bomb. That enables you to peek around the bomb with a bit more cover than the bomb gives you on its own, okay? The second thing you want to do, in my opinion, and this is what I love doing, is keep the Kiba barriers to yourself for the later end of the round. As the enemy tries to breach, usually now these days, they'll bring an EMP to try and get the wall denial off. Please bring Bandit or Cade for these walls and the wall at the bottom there. As they EMP, you can either try and Bandit trick, but obviously you've got to watch for the grenades. But as soon as the thermite or ace charge starts going off, throw the impact on the ceiling here. That'll destroy the thermite charge on the other side. Same this side. That'll destroy it. You remember, you've got 2 impacts. Thermite has 2 charges. Okay, it's a little bit trickier if they only throw 1 ace charge at a time, because ace gets 3. Always shoot the posters off the wall. Rule number 1. Ace gets 3, so if ace throws 1 Salma, you impact it. He throws another Salma, you impact it. He still has a 3rd Salma. But also remember, they only get 2 EMPs, so hopefully by the time he needs to use the 3rd Salma, both EMPs have been used, and you can use your Bandit and Cade on the wall. But anyway, once you've impact tricked and kept these walls safe, if this wall gets open, let's just say there's a hole here from a Salma, or if it's thermited, you can then start using your Kiba barriers to block the breach off. If those walls don't get open, which is generally the case if you're impact tricking, and if you've got Bandit and Cade being protected by the ADSs, so they can't just nade over the top, you then just start using your barriers to close off the doors. And you can, from here, you can get both doors. Just make sure you throw it on the grey bit of that door. Like so. And now what the attacker's going to have to do is punch this 3 times before they can come in. And as soon as they've punched it 3 times, they aren't going to rush straight in. As soon as they've punched it 3 times, throw another. Because the execute on this site, unless it's like a 2v5, like early doors, the execute on this site tends to be late on, like Old Siege, the old sort of 20-second meta. So you can defend these doors until late on. Now what gets tricky is if they open the yellow wall, because this is by far the easiest wall to open, because there's a soft floor above it. All you need to do is bring a fuse and put fuse there, and it'll just get rid of anything that's on the wall. Obviously fuses also can then also fuse the rest of the soft wall around here, but opening this wall is when it gets a little bit trickier. You're going to have to defend it from further away. But then you can still use your Kiba barriers to make lines aside to defend from. So you throw one here, now you can defend from the wall here. Remember, they're going to try and plant behind this, though. So, yeah, you can use your Kiba barriers further down. You can put it this side if you wanted to and defend from here. But, yeah, try and deny them from opening the breach using your impacts. And then just stop them coming through these 2 doors. Honestly, it works all the time. I play in a fairly high elo for a 34-year-old bald man, and it works in that elo all the time. If it works in that elo where people are fairly coordinated, if you're playing in like silver, gold, and plat, then you're definitely going to be able to stop teams from opening these walls just by using impacts and bandit and Cade, and then Azami off the doors. Works every egg a bird, I'm telling you. We're on to Canal now, and let's take advantage of the free aim training Canal offers at the start of every round. Make sure you shoot the 4 clocks off the wall. That's sort of the unwritten rule. Right then, this is a one-way angle that I'm sure most people know about now, but if you don't, I want to show you anyway. If you see this on attack, just run away, because you can't win this angle. Unless you're a Sophia or Ash, and you can shoot the barriers with the impact or the Ash charge, then just run the other way, or you got a Gon 6, obviously. So, first things first, the first barrier goes on the top of this grey thing. Now, you want to line this up with the... You don't want to be here and try and cover that. You want to be sort of here and cover this square where you can see through to printer. There's no point covering here. No one's going to attack from here. No point covering here. It's this where the defenders... the attackers are going to come from. So, in line with this, you want to hit this first grey thing at the top. And then when we've got another barrier, you want to send another one to the bottom of there. This now creates a nasty one-way angle from where you're stood here. The next one you want to do is to the right-hand side of the bomb. And that gives you cover from the breach as well. From here, you can still peek the breach. You can still, come up closer and peek around the breach if you need to. But from here, you can play in this area. You can cover green door as well. Which I don't know why I'm looking here for green door. That's here. But yeah, from here, this one-way angle. Bear in mind, our body is here, and we can see everybody there, right? Let's go have a look what that looks like as an attacker. So you get to the top of here. We can't see any head. Like, you can't see any part of the Azami body. It's going to be, if you go prone, it's going to be there, right? But as you come up here, or you come through printer window, you get to here, and you start pushing down. By this point here, you're already dead because the Azami sees you there on that ping. You're a goner. It's awful to play against. You can't do anything because even if you start going round it, even if you don't get shot at this point in here, you manage to get to the case. You can't do anything. You've got to start crouching up like this, and they're going to see your feet before you see their head, because that's how perspective works. You're going to see their lower body before they see you. Obviously here, you're still protected from the bomb. What I would do, and the more I think about this one Kiba barrier, I think I would probably put it further over to the left, like more towards just the left of the bomb, and then it'll give you a chance to peek around from safety here as well. So you can still peek around this side if you need to, but from here, you're still protected from all the breach. However, if you need to, you can still peek a bit of it. You just need to sit a little bit further back, but yeah. Absolutely disgusting angle. I've died to this a few times, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not proud about it either. Onto Coastline now, and we've got the middle of the 3 hookah walls reinforced, and the rotate already on the right-hand side as pretty default. Your first barrier is going to be protecting you from hookah window. People rappel here and love it. I absolutely hate playing here, but people love rappelling there. So that's just going to cover you from there. Your idea, by the way, is to play around this area here. Your second one's going to go on this ledge here. Don't put it in the middle because you'll block all the line of sight. You want to be just a little bit further over to the left. And then from there, whilst you're covered from hookah window, you can then peek hookah balcony. Your third one wants to cover yourself from aqua, so you can come through the rotate without worrying about getting a line of sight from aqua. That one needs to be a little bit further over to the left. As you can see, we've left a gap here. Probably put that a little bit further to the left. That's not the best example in this video, but we do everything in one take. I think that's a Tiny Temper lyric. If you've ever listened to Tiny Temper, I'm showing my age there a little bit, but let's do it all in one take. Anyway, yeah, we digress. So yeah, hookah window, hookah door. A little bit further over on the billiards table, so you can come through the rotate, and you can peek around either side of it. You can also go prone on these, obviously. And then the final one, and I see people doing this a lot, is to put this on the middle of this window. You get so many rooftop dwelling gremlins that are just waiting for somebody to come out of VIP. It drives me mad. They just sit here, just waiting for somebody to come out of VIP. So yeah, stick a barricade up there. If they still walk up to here, they're still going to get shot from the roof. But you could, if you were fast, just get out. But you don't really want to be coming through this door. But this deters them from even looking here anyway. You've got one spare. You can do that as you wish. When one gets destroyed, if they grenade this or they get rid of this, you can throw another one there. But you want to be playing around this area here. By the way, just I tend to reinforce this wall. What's that noise? Why is it making so much noise? Why was that like... What's this? I don't know what just happened there. I feel like there was a lot more noise than there normally is when you reinforce a wall. Anyway, Yeah, so you're playing around this area. You're protected from this. You're protected from hookah. You're protected from hookah window. You're protected from hookah door whilst creating objects. You can get through the I actually quite like that you can hold that from there, actually, and then come a bit further up, and then they don't know which side you're coming from. But yeah, really strong position. As always, just be careful. You're in absolutely grenade from below territory, especially with the hatch. People have got a hatch as reference. If they know you're playing in this area next to the bomb, next to the hatch, they're not really going to miss the nade. So you probably need someone below playing as in Sunrise as well to protect you. You should probably have someone in Sunrise anyway, but just to protect you from being naded from below. The other thing you've got to watch, which you haven't mentioned, is big window. You're going to get people on rappel on this side of the window by just holding the rappel here. So when you're playing around here, just be careful of that. You got to listen for the rappel. If you listen for the rappel, you've got to come in tight, and you can't be spotted from here. You're still safe from this, and you're still safe from there from Aqua. But you've just got to listen for that rappel. Remember, look at the angle. It's about here, there, sorry, when you're going to get seen. So up until about the edge of the hatch, you can play around here and be safe from the window, but just don't get picked off from the window. I mean, imagine if you hit that one tap upside down like that. That'd be unreal. Anyway, yeah, good. I really like this one for hookah. It's really strong. You can protect both main entrances there and there. Obviously, you can hold cool vibes as well if you need to. Just a really strong anchor spot, and it's exactly the type of spot that Azami has made so strong within Siege at the minute. So there we have it. We're back in Coastline. No one's reinforced the VIP walls, which I'm fuming about. Basics, man. There's Azami. Just what else can you say? Just really, really strong. I feel I say that about a lot of operators at the minute, but she's really strong. Probably the strongest defender. Her and Solwis are up there at the minute in the entire game, in the entire defender operator pool. Loads of good places to use her. Hopefully that's helped you. If you've got this far in the video, I really appreciate you watching. I say it every time, but this channel's nothing without people who watch it like you. So thank you for watching it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!